We are live. Oh, where did he go? He was on here. Uh-oh. Come back, 1776. Don't know what happened, but make sure I am still live, and he should be heading back here in just a second. He was on. I don't know what happened. How's everyone doing this evening? All right, we've got a lot of questions. Some people have already been asking some good ones. I'm going to send him an invite one more time just to make sure, so hold tight. I don't know what's happened. He was on here with us, and then all of a sudden he left. So all right, that should work here. All right, how's everyone doing? We will do some roll call real quick. For the first comment of the evening, it was Dennis B. Dennis B won the first comment of the evening, so he gets the big shout out, because if you're not first, you're last. Okay, he is having a little bit of a problem. He's going to try to get back in. I've resent him an invite, so he should be coming back on. Hello, Meathead. Hello, Kathleen. Armsman, Keenan. Do a quick roll call. We got C. Kim, Nicholas Rodriguez, Romans, Philip Harper, Ranger 10, Pistol Pete, Ohio Gear, Double B, Phil D's, Kathleen, I already said. Let's see here. Sorry, I guess everybody's doing some chats at the same time. All right. See if I missed anybody. All right, well, they're all flying by now, so if I missed you, pop in another comment and I'll try to give you a shout out. Indy Irish, Josh Benware, Young Guns, hello everyone. Yes, we actually had the mandatory stay at home, so it actually kicked in here too. So, but we will, we'll abide by it. And hello, Texacan, how are you? Keith Gregory. But while 17's waiting to get back on, like I said, hopefully it should be soon. Vanguard, how are you? Let's go ahead and kick off some things. One thing that I would love to do, and I think we all need to be doing that, is remembering to thank our truck drivers and the technicians who keep those trucks running. I've already told a couple of truck drivers, thank you. If they pull up to a fast food place and you happen to be out, they can't drive the 18-wheeler through the drive-through, of course, and a lot of drive-throughs will not allow walk-ups, so they're kind of stuck. So if there's a big van that can't fit through there, or a big truck or something like that, go help those people out. Grab them some lunch or something, keep them rolling. Here he is.
Jesus.
All right, man. You back?
Yeah, apparently we can't use internet around here either now.
We're taking all the way. Yeah, what I was saying is thanking the truck drivers and helping those guys out, because they can't drive the 18-wheelers through the drive-through and they've got to eat too. So if you see one parked in a parking lot, offer to grab him some lunch or something like that if you can. Understand if you have kids in the car, you don't want to leave them unattended, but help when you can. They are hauling all this stuff for us and trying to get it into these stores. So everybody can grab toilet paper, obviously.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know what the thing is with toilet paper. I have no idea. It just blows me away, but whatever. Not worried about food and rice and beans and stuff like that. They're worried about damn toilet paper. But anyway, yeah, and I was going to say they can't even go to the restroom when they stop at these fast food places. They're having to go to truck stops and gas stations and stuff like that. So hello, we the people. Love the name, because we are that. All right, so how have you been doing, sir, other than the internet issue?
Just great. If we're surviving.
Yeah.
Apparently we are, the epicenter of all this crap that's going on in the United States right now. New York City, obviously, is much worse than where I'm at. So currently where I live, we have, I think, 78 confirmed cases. Wow. And then New York City has over 20, I don't know, I want to say like 15,000 or something like that. Wow. But overall in the state, we're around 20 to 25,000 infected. So
yeah,
you know, it keeps growing every day.
Yeah,
It's doubling.
yeah. I think we've got 33 in our county. So, but I'm sure it's probably going to go up. And a lot of people haven't been tested. We know that.
Right, right, right.
So we don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, Keith Gregory is asking. This is actually a good question because it's going to apply to both of us. Oh, here it is, right here. Hang on. God, these comments are flying by. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. How's the ammo where you live? Can you get any? What about with you, 17?
There's everything's closed. Nobody's open anymore. Everything was closed. Gun shops, because there are a few locals here that are kind of sporting goods stores, so they really closed by choice. They didn't have to close if they didn't want to, but they closed by choice because they wanted to, obviously protect their staff from getting sick.
Yeah.
So whatever you have is what you have for now. So
Yeah.
at least by me. I can't speak for all of the state, but that's by me.
Yeah, I posted up a bunch of stuff on Instagram today. If y'all want to go check it out, Texas Gun Experience. They have a huge inventory. They're not like little small mom and pop gun shops, but they have a huge inventory. So they still have a lot of pistols, rifles. I mean, they've sold a ton. Got pictures of the ammo shelves, and they still have 9mm. They still have 45, 223. They still have a lot of that, but they have a huge quantity of pallets. But they ordered, big anyway because they're a huge store. So, and they have a range. So a lot of people purchase their stuff to go into the range. But yeah, I posted it all up, and it's 10 pictures of a ton of stuff. So if you're in the Grapevine, Texas area and you need stuff, they've got it. I don't know for how long, but they've got it. So, but yeah, there's some places that don't have anything. So,
Yeah, we're running out of food. We went shopping last night because we're trying to really pad everything. Fortunately, we were able to do that. I couldn't imagine people who are not in the same circumstances me, trying to get through this because it's almost like we're going through hell here in New York. I hate to say it that way. I think it's a lot of people are not understanding that. I mean, if you listen to Bald and Curious, he's thinking the world is fine. I don't know where the hell he lives. I know where he lives. I do know he lives about 45 minutes north of me, but it is not good here. There's not a lot of supplies. Toilet paper is scarce. I actually did find 4 rolls of toilet paper this past weekend. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's scarce. So when we see it, we pick it up and we just hold on to it. Water is actually pretty easy to come by. You just need to know where to go and get it. Milk is plentiful, which thank God, because we're all milk drinkers in my house. But the canned foods are gone, totally gone. Chicken is completely gone. You got to go at certain times to pick up red meat. Supermarkets are even rationing what you can get. So if you want to buy chicken, you can only buy 1 pack at a time. Just like staple supplies like that. So there's no chicken. There's barely any pork. All the rice is completely gone. There's no cooking oil. There's nothing. It's like it's been crazy here. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Well, I've sent this out to some friends of mine, and this is something, if you're needing toilet paper and you're needing paper towels, which are impossible to find where I am. People don't know this, but if you go into a Walmart and you go to the automotive section, you can purchase the shop rags. They're on a roll. They're blue, but they've got tons of them. And also in the same automotive department, you can get RV toilet paper. And some people have already found that out, so they don't just have it laying around. But if you catch them at the right time, they've had tons of those paper towels. And I keep the shop rags for, working in the garage and stuff like that anyway, normally.
Yep.
So,
and if you go to like a True Value kind of hardware store, you go into their auto section, you can also find rolls of paper towel there and also gloves. You can actually get nitride gloves there as well.
Yeah. And even paint stores. I don't know if anybody has paint stores in their area. Not like a Lowe's or Home Depot, because a lot of people said that they're out of those. But if you go to a small paint shop, or like you said, a hardware store, a lot of them will have that. But it's just, man, it's a weird time. And, it really makes, all the people that are really throwing a fit about it and understand it's not what we're used to. But man, can you just imagine what our grandparents went through? I mean, as you're older, of course, if you're a younger person.
It would definitely be my great grandparents.
Yeah.
A little bit younger than you there, Big J.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. My grandmother and grandfather, hey, we went through this and we went through that. And I've heard the stories. where they couldn't get normal necessities, and they made do and they lived. So I mean, we just all gotta, we all gotta get along. And these people fighting over stuff. I mean, like I saw people fighting over toilet paper, on a video, and I was like, really, man? I mean, come on. It's just, I don't know.
So apparently Rubber Chicks is calling us two gay dudes. Apparently you're in the wrong channel. You might be looking for your family, which we are not. So I think we're going to hide you from this channel, douchebag.
Yeah, I think we can blast him. Bye-bye.
So if you want to be a douchebag, wrong channel, guys. All right.
Yeah, we're definitely not that.
And if we were, it wouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. But at the same time, you know what? Don't come on our channel and start being dicks. Period.
Yeah. Yep. No reason for it. But yeah, I just look at people need to, get what you need. Don't turn into the hoarder. And, like there's a little old lady standing next to you and she needs something, but you're, taking everything that she might need. And I think it is good. And I don't know about in your area, but in our area, it has happened, which I think it's good. But they're allowing, if you're over, I think it's over 60 or 65, they can do early shopping from like 7 to 8 or something like that. They're letting all of them in, the elderly people, to get what they need, so they're not in the middle of the madhouse. And I think that's a great thing to let people get what they need. And it's just crazy, man. I helped a little old lady put her groceries in her car one day because she did good to push the cart out there. Just be a freaking human being. I mean, good Lord. I don't know what is going on with this stuff, but okay. Now, and I told myself we were going to talk about the doom and gloom. We were going to talk about good stuff and positivity and helping people out, doing stuff like that. But I do have a question, or some questions I've been asked, and they do pertain to you also. But since you've been off and you've been homebound like I have been, what have you been doing other than working, from home? Because I have been doing that. But what else have you been doing?
Sleeping. Okay. I'm up early and working all day. I have to work from home. I'm considered an essential employee, so I actually have to go into work. I got to go in on Friday, actually, which sucks because I don't want to do it, but I have to. But mostly I've been sitting on my ass. I've been working, doing meetings and just getting things organized and structured. And then when I'm done with that, I'm eating way too much. I'm eating a lot, man. And it's all garbage. Some of the stuff I picked up in the stores I should not have. Yeah. But just been eating a lot. I haven't made any videos. I have like no energy to do anything. The gym's closed, so I'm freaking out about that. The weather's going to warm up this week, so maybe I'll go out for a run. But just, hanging out outside. I've actually been redoing the floor in my garage. So that's kept me occupied, but I'm just trying to do things around the house. I'm not trying to make myself go anywhere if I can help it. Yeah. But that's about it. I mean, it's been, it's been productive, but boring to say the least.
Yeah, I have been going through ammo cans, rearranging my ammo cans and getting everything situated, more ammo in cans, and moving stuff around, cleaning up the gun room and, the cabinets and, all kinds of stuff, just reorganizing everything. Matter of fact, I've done so much organizing, I can't find crap that I'm now looking for. So I'm like, where the hell did I put it? And I just had a brain fart earlier, so I had to write myself a note. Now I'm gonna have to go back through a lot of stuff to find out where I put actually what I need. So, yes, that happens when you're trying to get everything situated. I did have a question, and I don't know if you have any in yours. Do you have seat covers in your Jeep?
No.
Okay. I had a question. I guess somebody was watching one of my video and noticed my seat covers and asked what kind they are. They're called Gear. They're made by Smittybilt, but they're called Gear. And on the back of it, it has Molly. It has a whole bunch of holders for ammo and all kinds of crap that you can attach go bags and stuff to it. So if you're interested, I can't remember who asked it, but they were asking it earlier. So I wrote it down. But anyway, and then one other question I had, and this pertains to both of us. What do you carry in your vehicle for any issues? And they put any issues in, quotes.
Well, I mean, I carry a gun.
Okay.
I don't really carry more than that. I mean, should I be? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it just whatever you carry. I mean, I carry a go bag. There's not a gun in it. I carry the gun on myself. I don't leave guns in my car, but I carry a go bag, and it's got food and some water, and then I have actually two go bags. One stays permanently in there, but it's got like weird stuff in it. It's got like lighters, extra lighters. It's got food. It's got a life straw. It's got that kind of like I forget the name of the food, but it's like this big bar, and it's vacuum sealed and can last for like 10 years, and it's a real high calorie bar. I've got a couple of those in there. And what's really weird is I have a folded. I don't know how the hell they folded it up, but it's about this big. It's about that thick, and it's actually a tarp. It's a full blown tarp. Just for water in case it's raining. I've got a poncho, in a package, and just stuff like that, just in case. And of course, I've got ammo in the safe. If you haven't seen the truck safe I carry, I've got a video on it, but it's a huge truck safe, so I carry ammo and stuff like that in it, just in case I'm stuck somewhere. But I travel, unlike a lot of people where they just go do short trips or even 30-minute trips. I do 6 and 7 hour trips. So, but when you look in it, you can't see all this stuff, so it's well organized. Bald and Curious, just Google gear, GEAR, seat covers by Smittybuilt. I even actually, if you go back through the scroll, if you can see it, I actually typed it in there earlier. But what else has been going on with you? Anything?
Not really. I mean, it's just, I've been reading a lot of news, probably way too much, because it's hard not to get kind of, I guess, obsessed with what's going on. Every day they give us an update on the count of how many people are infected. I got a friend of mine whose husband is a NYPD detective, narcotics, and in his building, he's already got 6 people who have been positive for it. Right now, there's about 200 NYPD officers who are infected, about a little close to 2,000 right now that have called out sick. I've been watching the videos on people, saying this and that, this is a government takeover and all this other stuff. And I don't know, I don't want to get people mad, but I got to say, I think a lot of you guys are talking out of your ass. I'll be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because saying, well, they're taking away this right and that right and everything. I still have all my rights. I mean, I can carry a gun. I can go wherever the hell I want. Yes, things are closed, but you can still go out. You can still be in public. They just don't want you grouping in large groups. And it's not because they're trying to take away your right to get together. They're trying to reduce the amount of people who get infected so it doesn't overwhelm the hospitals. And that's the key to this, that most people are not talking about. I mean, as much as I cannot stand Andrew Cuomo, he does his little daily speeches, and he comes out with a lot of the mathematics about, the fact that we need 30,000 respirators, or basically, breathing machines, whatever you want to call them. And we have like 700 in the state. So the concern is not the fact that we're losing our rights. It's the fact that we don't want 35,000 people getting sick and not being able to treat them. Because if you look at cases like Italy has now got to stop treating anybody 60 and older because they don't have enough supplies. And I don't want us to get that way. I have elderly parents and a grandmother. And, to me, it's just crazy. Just crazy how people are, trying to say this or that. But, like I said, we were out today. We went out. We were on a track walking. There were people there. We stayed away from them. But that's not it, I don't get it.
Yeah. And, this is really a good time for a shout out to Blue Alpha Gear and Coltac. I don't know if I know you know who Blue Alpha Gear is, but if anyone wants to, they can actually go over to Blue Alpha Gear on Instagram. And what they're doing is they're actually making masks. They've started sewing masks together and stuff like that, and they're giving them to firefighters, paramedics, nursing people. They're just upfitting a lot of people and giving those away. So, to first responders and stuff. So if you want to donate to that, you can. That they do a lot of charitable stuff, and they've been there for. Matter of fact, they've even canceled, like during SHOT Show, they decided not to go to SHOT Show and went to Virginia, and stuff like that. So, that's a big deal. I think they did go to SHOT Show, but they went to Virginia first. So mean, that's a big deal. And if you can, if you can donate to that cause, that's a great cause. I mean, they're, helping a lot of people out, man. And nobody is prepared for this kind of situation. I mean, none of us would imagine this would happen. I mean, it's just so crazy. But, we're going to get through it the best we can. And I just hope everyone's well. And that is the thing, not to, you could potentially be a carrier and take it to your older parents or your older grandparents and things like that. I don't know if you've seen these videos of these kids going through grocery stores and licking items. They're like picking up candy.
Yeah, I know. They should be beaten right out of that store.
If I, and I'm not joking around, if I saw somebody doing that, I wouldn't physically grab them, but I would damn sure call them out. And I would be like, you need to get the hell out of this store, man, because they might not even know that they have it, just joking around, and they're going to give it to somebody just from doing stupid shit like that.
Right.
Yep. I mean, there's just no call to, there's no reason to be idiots in situations like this. So,
the problem is you're always going to have that, and like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that Cuomo's done everything right. I think he's done a lot of political grandstanding, especially in yesterday's speech. And now, of course, the Democrats are saying maybe we should have Cuomo run as president, and bad mistake, Democrats, because he's a terrible governor. But at the same time, when you look at the numbers and you look at what we're trying to do here in the state, we're screwed. We just can't, we have too many people, and they're talking about it, taking another 14 and 21 days to see the spike reach its apex, but they don't even know. They're guessing on that. So they don't even know if it's going to be further than that or whatever. But, I think the biggest thing is just trying to be calm and rational about it all. But, again, the people around here have not been that at all. And then there's also the worry that, the city is in bad shape, like really bad shape. They're talking about the cops not coming in. The hospital's being overrun right now. I think the capacity is at 53%, maybe 57 now or something like that. Yeah. So, the worry is obviously all these people coming up, from the city and coming here. That's, we're talking about a pretty bad situation that can definitely get worse. But
yeah. And, that's the thing about, if people can maintain distance and do what they're supposed to do. And just for example, my wife did run to get some stuff today. And she was checking out, the little self-checkouts, which is a little bitty register. She's just doing her thing. And she was paying and all that stuff. The lady comes up and literally stands next to her. I mean, this far away. And my wife was like, really? You need to back off. And the lady, as being a jerk, she just backed like 50 yards back and was like, is this far enough? And my wife was like, no.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You really, if you feel uncomfortable with somebody getting in your face like that, absolutely tell them. Now's not the time to be screwing around. Yeah. Because and the one thing they keep trying to pass along is that it's only hurting elderly people. Yeah. But I've been reading more and more. There's a very very good lacrosse player, young guy, 25 years old. He got sick the next day. He's on a respirator because he's dying now from coronavirus, and he's in critical condition. This is an athlete. This is a guy who's super healthy. And he's now one of the victims. We have a medic down in FDNY, 34-year-old female, came down with corona. She's on a respirator now. Yeah. So, this isn't just hitting the elderly like they're saying. This is everywhere. And the problem is we still don't know how it is affecting people. And yeah, they talk about blood type and this and that and everything else, but there is no guarantee that if you're 35 years old in great shape that you're not going to get very sick from this. Yeah. And then there's also the long-term side effects from this where the lungs are damaged permanently. This is not a joke, man. This is no joke.
Yeah. That, and people sometimes you don't know like if your body is having an issue until something like this affects it. Right. I played football in high school with a kid, great athlete, awesome athlete. Ran the 40, and I mean, he was super fast, the whole thing. During the game, he had a heart attack. I mean, he lived, but he had a heart attack. Kid was healthy as a horse. So you just don't know. And, with people with respiratory issues and stuff like that, they just got to be so careful around people. And, for example, with that lady, she didn't know if my wife had it. My wife didn't know if she had it. I mean, there's just somebody that's not listening to kind of what's going on. I'm not saying you got to watch the news 24/7 because it can be monotonous, but at least have a clue, man. Don't just whatever. Yeah. But let's see here.
Shit, and don't forget not to cough or sneeze in public either.
Oh yeah.
People freak out, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny. You go to a supermarket, you're walking through there, and you go, and all of a sudden everybody like runs in opposite directions.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
There was one little, it was like a cartoon meme, and it was a cat, and they made it cough. I guess they added a male cough in it, and then all these other cats just scattered. It was pretty funny. I'm not a cat person, but I thought
Yeah.
it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just need to be careful. Just everybody be careful. Have you been doing any dry firing?
A ton of it, just a lot of it. I've been tempted to go, but they closed down. Everything's closed here. Shit, I've been tempted to just find a field and go out and shoot in the middle of a field because nobody's around. But and then Baldwin Curious keeps asking me to go up there, but I don't trust him because he's probably sick and he's trying to get me sick.
Yeah.
So it's just it sucks, man. There's a good part of this also though, and that's something we should be highlighting is that this should be really a wake up call for everyone to kind of reconnect with people,
Yeah.
especially your kids,
Yeah.
and your family, your close family, maybe even friends if you don't have a big family or something. But we've been spending a lot of time together, and we're actually talking, we're walking. There's no sports, there's no school right now,
Yeah.
so it's been nice, it's been good, from that standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, that's what we've been doing too, and heck, been eating dinner as a family and stuff like that. So it's actually been really good, to kind of decompress and kind of be with family and be able to talk to friends and call them. And,
Hmm.
and this is one of the other questions I have. Have you been getting any people asking you questions about, guns and ammo and, hey, I bought this or I bought that and I'm not familiar with it. Have you been getting any people like that?
I haven't got anybody like that from YouTube. I am in the process of trying to sell one of my handguns, and I've been, asked several times to sell it illegally without going through an FFL. Just if they could give me more money, could we meet? They'll pay in cash, and I'm like, absolutely not. So I finally just said in the little ad portion of it said, this has to go through an FFL. You should have supported the Second Amendment when you could have, just something simple like that, because I'm not going to do that illegally. I'm not going to jail to sell a gun. It's not
No.
happening.
No.
So it's just, I think the biggest thing that I was concerned about was seeing all the guns going. Everybody and anybody, it didn't matter who they were all buying stuff. And I'm talking about old guns, new guns, used guns. I mean, and some of the stuff they were buying, I'm like, holy shit, these people don't even know how to use it.
Yeah.
But again, when you're in a panic, you do panicky things.
Yeah, yeah. I've had people reach out to me, friends, and I did a video on it. And myself, rather than beating up the new gun owners, I want us to try to help educate them. If we can be positive and welcome them to a community, because I don't want them to, buy a gun and have everybody treat them like crap. And then, they'll go back to their side when all this is over and say, man, those gun guys are crazy. They're just a bunch of idiots, a bunch of redneck, yahoos.
Yeah.
I want them to try to, us be inviting and try to offer assistance. I've had some people ask me. Matter of fact, I even posted on Instagram. I had a guy ask me if I'd sell a gun today, over Instagram. He actually asked me, "Hey, you want to sell that gun?" And he could have just been, legit. But I'm like, no, I don't sell guns. No gun sales here. I'm not going to be that guy. And who knows if it's the ATF? I don't know who the hell it is, but there's no reason for that kind of stuff going on. But if we can be inviting and, show tips or whatever, and I've had a couple of people that I've FaceTimed with to take guns down to show them how to load magazines and stuff like that. And these are acquaintances. They're not good friends. One of them was, but other ones were just acquaintances. But if I can offer some assistance like that, and one of them was, I wouldn't say he was an anti-gun person.
Mm-hmm.
He just, always thought there'd be a cop standing right next to him if something happened. He was one of those type, and we've talked about them before, but he came to our side and he's like, he was just came right out and said it, hey, I see the reason for having it. And I was like, good, man, let's talk. And so I walked him through some stuff, and if we can help some people, I want to try to help people. I don't want to try to beat them up and be the negative Nancy about it.
Yeah, and again, it's different up here because nothing's open. I mean, the only things that are open now are hardware stores, home improvement stores, restaurants if you're doing takeout only. Liquor stores are open, so that's helpful. Supermarkets, Walmart, those types of things, but everything else is, kaput. It's gone. So you can't go to a gun store now to buy ammo. That's why I think people were going crazy for it. I mean, I was fortunate. I had, I have good amount of ammo, but I don't want to shoot anything, even if I could, because who knows? We don't have a deadline as to when everything is going to end. They keep saying 2 weeks. If you listen to the esteemed president, who, by the way, I'm not too happy with the way he's been handling this. Not saying it's his fault by any means, but Jesus, Don, let's kind of get a grip on this, man. But he's saying we're going to be having the magic fixed by Easter. So I don't know if he's waiting for Jesus to resurrect or something, but I don't think it's happening by Easter. It just doesn't seem that way. So that's why I'm trying to just maintain what I have and just go about my business.
Yeah, no, I can understand that, because the thing of not knowing, can be, people can, kind of freak out about that. And like, I know a lot of people reload and stuff like that, but primers have gone up. There's a lot of stuff that's gone up even for those guys too. So, I just think if you want to be prepared, try to get what you can get, or hopefully you already had what you needed. Right. Because during these kind of times, you just don't know. I've got quite a bit of ammo, but then again, like I've said, you can never have enough ammo because we don't know what's going to happen.
Right. But, and now they're saying also, I think 10 Amazon factories were all infected, so they shut them all down. Yeah. So it's like, I know everybody's hopeful, and I'm trying to be hopeful. It's hard to do that when you see the numbers growing here exponentially every day. It's kind of scary, but at the same time, you also start to see the bigger picture, and you're starting to say, if it doesn't get under control soon, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. We're going to be in a lot of trouble economically. We're going to be in a lot of trouble, even defensively, in regards to other countries. So, I mean, there's a lot of things on the plate of our president. So that's why I don't really take with Cuomo. A lot of the attacks he was doing, I thought were stupid and foolish. His demands of all the respirators, I think, is foolish too, because you don't know who's going to be the next hotspot. So you can't just give an allotment of 30,000, ventilating machines to New York State, not knowing if, New Jersey's going to need 10,000, So it's hard to say, like, what's going to be the right thing. My concern obviously is with having elderly parents and a grandmother who's still alive, is the fact if one of them gets affected by this or infected by it, I'm very concerned, because they all have underlying health conditions. They're old, they take medications. And so my concern always is to not have them around because of a stupid virus. And then more importantly, not even being able to have a funeral, which is just horrible. I mean, it's just horrible. So I think, people need to kind of wake up a little bit, stop worrying about, oh, they're taking away our gun rights and blah, blah, blah. I mean, the next check system went down. Why? Because it was overloaded, went right back up. Yeah. So, yes, there are some governors who are using this as an opportunity to take back power. We get that. But you see how they've all been pushed back. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, and that's when we, the people, need to stand up and say, that's not going to fly. Right. I mean, period. This, and I agree. I don't think it's going to be over by Easter. It might be less in some areas, but I have a feeling since more and more and more people are getting tested, there's going to be more and more people are positive. And, if you really think about it, once you're tested and you're proven contaminated, or so to say, then it's 14 days after that. So if we're just now getting more and more test kits out and things like that, I have a feeling it's going to drag out a little longer. I hope it doesn't, but I just don't think it's going to be by Easter. I wish it would, but I don't know.
And then the other thing too, even with that, is that, you hear the stories of people who were infected, then they get better, but then they get infected again. It's like, so like, what do you do? I don't like, that's the thing, that there's so many open-ended questions to this. And I think that's been the biggest problem in this whole situation, is that there are all these questions, they have not been asked. My brain keeps on spinning, like, what is this? I still think this was a bioweapon. I still don't think this was a naturally occurring virus. I think China was making something and it got out. And then they were like, oh shit, it's out. And how perfectly it attacks old people. So China has one of the largest populations in the world. Why not get rid of the elderly and the wastes? Because they can't feed all their people in China.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it's definitely, it could be something like that. And they even knew about it way before they even officially announced it. Mm-hmm. So, it was already happening over there too. So, as we say, China.
How do you say it again?
China. No, I'm imitating someone.
I don't know who you did that.
The Donald. He said,
"Oh yeah,
China."
I've got a good got a friendship with Chairman Jin, and China is great. Yeah, whatever, Don.
They were like, "You're racist," and he's no, China did it. But
yeah, well, I think his concern obviously is the economy right now, because it's horrible. It's just doing horrible. And like I said, it's horrible because then you got tons of people who are out of jobs, and it's through no fault of their own. So it's, and then the problem is we don't have enough tests, and the tests are not getting to the right people. But it's amazing how athletes and celebrities all get tested before the average Joe and average Jane of the United States who are trying to make a living. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with that too. Who we need to be testing, and God forbid, the medical people have it, the first responders, things like that, because you start thinning those ladies and gentlemen out,
Right. And that's the thing. Like, they're already thinning out. Already thinning out.
And you've canceled the NBA and all this other stuff, and all the sports and stuff. I mean, those guys aren't living in a 12 by 12 room.
Right.
They're walking around in their mansions and their pools and all that stuff. So it's not like they're slumming it, and then you've got people out there just working their ass off to try to keep everybody well and safe. And, they can't even get a damn, face mask and stuff. It's like, it's just freaking crazy, man. It is crazy. Well, let's go ahead and start taking some questions. I definitely don't want to ignore anyone. We want to, we're about, 35 minutes into the chat. So let's take some good questions. If I missed them, please give them again. Let's see here.
I know, Big Al, you're not going to get ripped for that. I mean, Cuomo has done a good job in his talking to the people, but I would always caution that with saying that he is also a very, very good used car salesman.
Yeah.
So he's pumping up really what his agenda is. He's going to run for president. Now, whether it's this turnaround or in 4 years, this is his stepping stone to that. So be very careful with that. And anybody who knows Cuomo knows exactly what this opportunity is for him.
Yeah.
Even if you read through his statements and you start to pick it apart, you realize a lot of the stuff he's saying are just really unfounded things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's people definitely out there that, especially politicians, that can talk about it out of both sides of their mouth. So, we see it every day. And hell, Joe Biden can't even remember what he said 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I know.
That God dang, man.
He's probably saying this is the Spanish flu. Spanish flu's killing all these people.
Yeah. Did you see where his teleprompter went down?
And he was like, is this thing working? And he's walking off the.
But then he was like, he was lost. He had no thought. And I'm like, okay, what's going on there?
I think there's some late onset Alzheimer's there or something.
Yeah, well, I think there is too. And I even have a little theory, and I share it with some people. But tell me if I'm crazy. Okay, if you've listened to Biden, he said, "I'm going to pick a woman for vice president." He said that about 3 times.
Mm.
What if he were to pick Hillary? Just hear me out. What if he were to pick Hillary, get into office, or if he were to get into office, and then all of a sudden he comes down with Alzheimer's or something crazy?
Right.
He has to step down, and who's going to step up?
Yeah, I don't think he could pick Hillary because Hillary's too much of a man for him. So.
Yeah, well, but he already knows he's going to lose. I think something's going on with him, and he just hasn't came out and said it. But and there should be a test before you become president of your mental capability. And
well, I think they do. I think they have to go through a battery of tests. But come on. How that is. The guy could have like a 10,000 cholesterol. Oh, he's healthy. He's healthy. He's got 150.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how the hell he would pass it, but whatever. Let's see here. All right. He coughs. Yeah, they're saying he coughs in his hand.
Yeah. But music asked you if I will ever shave again. So this is the pandemic facial hair. So
what's funny is, I guess it was the other. Heck, I just shaved I shaved yesterday, but I can grow a beard pretty quick. But I had a pretty scruffy one, and I was calling it my pandemic beard, but I was just like, whatever, I got to get rid of it. So
I just you know what, I don't have to go in. So it's like, I never, in any job I ever had, I've never been able to grow any facial hair due to the qualifications of the job. But and same thing with this one. So now I'm like, shit, I'm just gonna let it grow. But I've got to go somewhere Friday and deal with people, unfortunately. So I'm totally freaked out about that right now. But I'm going to probably shave it tomorrow. Plus, my daughter's 13 tomorrow, so we've got to figure out what to do with her because there's no birthday party coming, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
no, I understand that, and if you think about it, like, look at all the college graduates that aren't going to be able to walk across the,
Oh yeah.
I mean, in the high school and all that stuff, that's a big stepping stone in a lot of people's world. And, even for the parents and stuff, and they don't get to see their kid, they're just going to get a, diploma in the mail or whatever. I mean, it kind of takes some, and I can understand the reasoning behind it, but, it does take a lot of the wind out of the sails for, a lot of parents. Cause of course my daughter walked across the stage, not too long ago, and that was pretty cool. And I just hate it for a lot of parents that don't get to see that, So.
Yeah, Bald is saying virtual birthday party. We had they had a virtual sleepover the other night, so that was fun. Although listening to them scream at each other over FaceTime and this the crap, and I was like, Jesus God, I wish I just had all of them in my house right now because it was worse.
Yeah,
but it is what it is, man. It's and it's hard for the kids too. Like they're actually starting school next week virtually, and so that's going to be interesting. They still haven't talked about state exams because we have state exams in New York State. So hopefully those will be canceled. But it's gonna be tough, man. I feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'll tell you what, I have a feeling a lot of the, with younger kids and stuff like that, a lot of the parents, are probably going to be losing a lot of hair, with their kids running around the house and screaming. And, plus kind of goes back. Problem. Yeah, it kind of goes back to jobs and stuff. A lot of the kids are out of school and the parents can't work because they're going to take care of their kids and they can't afford the child care, and
it's a dilemma. It is an absolute dilemma. And that's why, I don't know, man. And again, I don't want to bring it up again, but I will because I can't help myself. And that's why, a lot of the videos that are coming out, I'm really disappointed with them because, there's other things that are going on here. There's the human component to this, the families that are being affected. And it may be some of us here, maybe some of them on the panel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably everyone in this room who's hit by this in a certain way. And at the same point, I mean, the NICS system never got taken down. I mean, yeah, the gun stores are closed, but I know my one local guy, he's doing it by appointment. So technically he's closed, but he's still open, and there's no problem with that. So, if you want to go out in public, you can go in public. If you want to speak out against your government, you can speak out against your government. If you want to go to church, because I know Bald brought that up, you can do it virtually. You can have mass virtually done. If you need to go to a doctor, you can do that virtually. I just had a virtual doctor's appointment the other day, and it was great. So I'm not sure what is everybody talking about. If you look at the human components, the people that are going to be affected by this, the middle class workers, the lower income people, the rich people, are never going to be affected by it. But you're talking about people who are losing everything day by day. And then on top of that, having to be worried about if, let's say, they have a family member who works in the city, bringing it back with them or going out in public. And, this is a human catastrophe we're dealing with here. And I just think, and again, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot or hurt anybody's feelings, but I just think that it's a lot of ignorance out there because none of you have been hit as hard as New York. And I'm not saying feel bad for us, and I don't want you to feel bad for us. I don't want it happening to you guys, and I certainly don't want you guys to have to go through what we're going through at such an extraordinary pace. So, that's just where I'm at with things.
Yeah, because I was going to say we had virtual church on Sunday, and it went really well. We were able to do it, and then my wife had the the virtual doctor's appointment. So I mean, stuff can be done, and I'm just wondering if because of this has happened or is happening, if some of the stuff might open up more of the virtual stuff or more, because. Man, if I could just talk to my doctor on the phone real quick and, even FaceTime with him and say, hey, here's my problems. And he could call in a prescription, man, that saves me time.
Oh, yeah, it was great, man. It took 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Got some, I got another antibiotic because I still was having issues with my sinuses and some prednisone for my sinuses. So they're all messed up, So I was in and out on the phone. Called the pharmacy. Pharmacy said it'll be in by this time. Ran in, like super fast, grabbed it and ran out. And it was great. So, I mean, I like I said, I know that, I know Bald's thrown out there. It's the fact the government mandates that you can't go to church. But remember, this is a safety issue. This is safety and health. Yeah. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's us as an entire state and an entire country that can be adversely affected by this. And if we don't get it under control right now, everything else after it is going to get screwed up. And I'm talking about, the streets going crazy because there's no cops, houses burning down because there's no fire departments, the economy going completely, not even into a hard recession, but a depression. These are real things, man. And people need to wake up and understand why these things need to be done. Yes, they're draconian. Yes, they're drastic. But unfortunately, I think they're necessary right now. And I can't speak for your states. I can only speak where I'm at.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just think it's something that, we as men and women will have to deal with and overcome and be better for it. Bitching and griping and, really raising hell and throwing fits, that's not going to do anything right now. I mean, like I said, if you want to assemble, you can assemble on the phone, with your groups and stuff like that. I've had plenty of conference calls.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've gotten my point across and told my guys, here's what we've got to do and stuff like that. And it's just a different time or a different situation we're all dealing with. Do we like it? No. But, if we just fold like lawn chairs and just say, oh, they're taking this and they're taking that and here and there, it's like, poor me. I mean, you just got to freaking put your big boy and big girl britches on, and we're going to get through this. Once it's passed, everybody's going to, it's going to slowly come back. But, there's going to be a lot of innocent people like, waiters and waitresses and people in those type of businesses. My business is affected, your business is affected. We're all suffering through this together. And, if one thing that this can do is maybe that divide that we had, if this can bring, some more people together, hopefully it does.
And I think it will. I think ultimately it's going to help the 2A culture of New York State, because so many people went gun crazy. Yeah. Again, Baldus in here, are you going to say the same thing when sheriffs knock on your door to collect your guns? Fairly certain, Baldy, that sheriffs have many other things to do than to worry about me and my house right now. Yeah. If we were talking in a different story where there is no pandemic and we don't have 25,000+ cases in New York, yeah, it would be a big problem. Absolutely. Yeah. But do I expect that knock on my door? I've been waiting for years, man. People have been saying that for years. Yeah. Hasn't happened. Why is that? Enough of the bullshit, man. Yeah. Just enough of the bullshit. I've had enough of it.
Well, we just can't go on the what ifs. What if I tripped on a curb and bashed my head, tomorrow? I mean, you don't know about the what ifs. That's why we can't worry about the what ifs. We can only deal with what we're dealing with now. And what we're dealing with now sucks. But again, if you can't man up, woman up, and, if this is the worst thing we ever go through, oh, well. Right. I've been through, like 2008, the bad crisis we had there, and it affected a lot of people, and one of them was me. Right. I don't know, it affected other people, but that was a bad recession for my particular business and personally, but came out of it stronger. And I know that it hurts. I know that it's not fun.
Right. But, and that even more of the reason to say, even to a guy like Baldy, I know you're a carpenter by trade. I know that you're into building homes and stuff like that. If this economy doesn't get resolved soon, you're going to be hurting. There's no doubt about it, because nobody's going to buy anything because banks aren't going to be able to loan anything. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, if we are temporarily uncomfortable with not going to church, so be it. So be it. Because in the end, if it means that you're going to be maintaining your lifestyle and being able to support your family, and if this is the uncomfortableness that it's going to take for you to continue to do that, then yes. Now, in a year from now, when this is gone and blown over, hopefully sooner than that, if there is still those sabers rattling, taking away our guns, then we have that argument. Then we have that fight. But we're not there right now. We're not. Where we're at right now is we're looking at bigger problems.
Yeah. Well, Dirt Road's pretty much saying it all. And I think he probably wins the funniest comment this evening. I think that's freaking hilarious. But good to see you, Dirt Road. But yeah, I think we need to, like I said before, I think we just need to support. And this is another thing, about our local businesses and things like that. If you can help support local businesses, if you can, even if you can get takeout food from a local business, do it. We just gotta, we gotta try to keep the positive part about it. I've never been a negative person, and I don't really like to even surround myself with negative people. It drives me crazy, man. That shit's a poison. So everybody's going through tough times. It sucks. I know a lot of people are losing their job, and I even have friends that are, and it's not a good thing. I'm going to try to help them any way I can. But if anything, hopefully we will all come out stronger from this, and we will be better prepared if some of this crazy shit happens again. Because like I said, grandparents, 5 miles to school in the snow, I've never had to do that, and I don't want to start doing it, but I guess this could be the, drove to 20 stores to find toilet paper scenario. But, if you got to wipe your ass, you can use other things. You got a garden hose, you got freaking whatever you got to do, get in the damn shower, quit stealing freaking toilet paper or hoarding it. I don't know what is going on with that. It drives me crazy.
Maybe they're snorting it. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I thought about, are they using it for firewood? What the hell is going on with the damn toilet paper thing, man?
Yep.
I mean, that would be the last thing in the world I would start hoarding is toilet paper. I just don't get it, but whatever.
So and then I'm not going to answer you anymore, Baldy, because this is in our chat. We can do this another time if you'd like, sir. But he's saying that's BS. Once government takes them right away, they never give them back. Trust me. So all I'm going to say to you, and I mean this out of all due respect, is, this is the United States. The only way the government takes our rights is when we just give them away. We're not giving these rights away. Okay, we're making temporary pauses in certain things. If these rights do not come back, then it is our job to make sure we get them back. Period. That's it. So it's not like another country where, you have these dictatorships that have basically brainwashed people for generations of families. This is not the same story here. So once this blows over, if we are still having these same conversations, then yes, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, and again, what has been taken away? Can somebody please tell me what constitutional right has been taken away throughout this? I cannot figure out what is. The right to assemble. You can assemble. You can go anywhere you want. You just can't do it in large crowds. And no offense, I don't like large crowds.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what constitutional right has been taken away from us.
Yeah.
Because I still have the freedom to say whatever the hell I want. I have the freedom to practice my religion, freedom to carry a gun, freedom to assemble with smaller groups. I can basically, if I get arrested, I'm still going to get a lawyer. I'm still going to have, the whole judicial process. I mean, what has been taken away? Nothing. Nothing has been taken away.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. God, look at this. Guy comment. Stay optimistic, people. My mom is 98, and her response when I talked to her was, I'm fine. It's mainly older people getting sick. I mean, that's a 98-year-old woman saying that. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta do this, we can't, we just got to deal with it. So, and there's other ways to deal with it. They're not saying you can't do any of this stuff. There's just virtual ways or different ways. It's like FaceTiming a friend. You can FaceTime multiple friends. You can try to figure out stuff. But all right, yeah, like an old married couple. I was gonna say, y'all need to just hug it out from a distance.
Yes.
But y'all can have a virtual
social spacing.
FaceTime each other and do a virtual hug. How about that? I want to see that, and y'all can make a video of y'all doing it. But any other questions? We're getting a little close here. I just want to try to. He's sending you a virtual hug.
I'm gonna virtual hug. Virtual love, Baldy.
Where's the DWX? That's actually a good question because that's one of the things. Anytime something like this happens, it's going to get moved back. And CZ, as we know, they say, hey, we're hoping for this. It usually gets postponed. That's been on every release that they've ever done. I'm probably predicting maybe the fourth quarter. I mean, that's my prediction. I've talked to CZ about it, not recently, but I talked to him a little while ago, and they were talking first or second quarter. So I was like, okay, third or fourth quarter. So, hopefully we'll have it by next SHOT Show. But that's my prediction. What do you think about it?
I mean, I don't think there's anything going on production wise now, because even if they were to release them, who's going to buy them at this point? I think everything's going to play on what happens in the next month, like 4 weeks from now. If we're still in the same situation, the economy is going to be completely stalled, and I can't see people spending over $1,000 for a handgun. I think that's going to be the biggest. Excuse me, I got gas. Ooh, there you go. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to really affect the guns that are out there, because the simple fact that you don't know how the economy is going to turn, and I don't think anybody's going to want to put out mass production of items that are just going to sit on their shelves. They're just not going to do that. So I would suspect it's going to be longer.
Yeah, Bold saying he doesn't have FaceTime. Good Lord, man. You have Skype. I mean, you do videos, for God's sakes. Figure it out. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's, I just think as we go through this and we hear more people coming out of it and things like that, and opening up some states and things like that. Hopefully, I'm thinking probably by 3 weeks. I'm hoping maybe 3 to 4 weeks will be a little better, and maybe people will be going back to work. Um, you know,
Yeah,
so
like I said, everything's so up in the air right now. It's hard to figure out, where everybody's going to land. I
yeah,
think it's unfortunately, we want to talk about guns, but there's just so many other things going on now. And you can see how passionate everybody is. We all have our own opinions. It doesn't mean we start fighting with each other. Look,
no,
we're having a passionate debate. There's nothing wrong with that. And
yep,
we've always said that. That's the beauty of who we are in regards to the gun culture, the idea that we can have these discussions and these arguments, but at the end of the day, we're still going to have a beer with each other,
yep,
obviously 6 feet apart. But,
yeah,
I think you have to be able to open up and have these conversations. And yeah, who the hell knows what's going to happen from here on out? I mean, would it be nice to see new guns coming out on the market? I just can't see companies wanting to invest that kind of money into producing something that they don't know who's going to buy it.
If anything, I see companies pulling back right
Mhm.
now from any kind of potential launches, because for one, I think they could get ignored by some people. If it's already out, it's out. One thing I would say, and this is my opinion, so y'all can take it for what you want. If you have 22 rifles or 22 pistols, I would recommend buying the 22 ammo that you can buy, because 22 ammo for a manufacturer will be put on the back burner. They're going to be putting out center fire rounds to try to keep up with demand.
Mhm.
So if you need 22 ammo and you see it or you can get it, I would grab it, because they don't make any profit off 22 ammo. So it's going to be pushed to the way, way back burner, and good luck finding it. So that's my opinion. And I've got tons of 22, so I'm good. But those who aren't, and I'm gonna, like, when I go shoot, I'm gonna take some center fire or regular ammo with me too. But I'm gonna be shooting a lot of my 22s. I'm actually enjoying it. I've been doing it for a while, even prior to this, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So yeah, and Kathleen's right. I even joked around with some buddies, when are we going to start putting on our Mad Max gear, from the movie? I mean,
Pretty
you
soon.
know, yeah,
Pretty soon, man.
yeah,
Yeah, hopefully not.
tricking out our trucks, putting stand racks on the top and getting after it. But
I mean, who knows? It's. I don't think it's gonna. I hope it doesn't go there. I mean, obviously we got some states, including my own, that are releasing prisoners. Low end criminals, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I still think that's crazy. But whatever. And I know
yeah,
that Art asked about, how do we feel about certain counties closing down gun shops? I am absolutely anti that at all. I don't think anybody should have had the right to close and say that these are non-essential. So that's where I disagree with everybody. The guns are essential. Giving people the
yeah,
ability to protect themselves in the times of crisis is one of the most essential businesses that you can talk of.
yeah,
So I don't agree with that.
yeah. And Kelvin just said it. FN released their new subcap. He's saying 509, but it's the new 503.
Yeah, the 503.
And we kind of talked about that before. The little, single stack gun, and if that's what you're looking for, I mean, it's cool. I personally wouldn't buy it, but I don't think it's. I mean, anything FN makes is a great product. So if that's what you're into, grab one.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of gun prices, going down, where a lot of them are going up. Depending on where you purchase. Some are coming down that were really high priced.
Mhm.
And now they're coming down to a little more reasonable purchases. So if you need it, and you really want it, you've got the opportunity to get it and have the funds to get it, grab it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, anything coming up that, I mean, I know we're kind of all surviving and we're doing what we can do. Anything that you have coming up or that you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video of me seeing Bald and Curious and giving him a hug,
Yeah.
up and close and personal.
Yeah.
No. Basically, I don't know what I want to do just now. I can't go out shoot. So that kind of blows. I still have a SIG P320X compact that I have with the red dot. So what is that? The DPX or something like that? I can't remember what they call it. So I got one of those, but I haven't done anything with it at all. Nothing. It's just sitting in my safe. There's just certain things I haven't done, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm not, and I'm not really ambitious at this point. I might do some things here and there, I do want to make a couple of videos. I might do the tabletop for the 320X compact. This is a really cool gun. And then somebody asked if I could do a comparison between that and the 509 MRD, which would be a good video because I still think the MRD is probably was the best out of the box, red dot capable. But I'll tell you, man, that compact with the dot on it already, they did it just right. I mean, it sits low in the slide. The co-witnessing is excellent on it. I mean, it did a solid job. I hate to disappoint SIG haters, but they did a really nice job on that gun.
Yeah, I've got rifle. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I've been talking about a rifle I got. It is the B22 Performance Savage, and it's a chassis 22. It's basically their trainer for your full size long range guns, and man, that thing is freaking fun as hell. I shot it at the range, and I just wanted to go there and focus on shooting, and so I didn't film anything, but I took pictures, put them up on Instagram if you want to see it, and I'm going to do a video on it. It won't be a shooting video, but I can talk about it and go over some stuff. So I've got that coming up. And just, some gear stuff I've been getting in and that I've purchased. I've got some more stuff that I bought coming in tomorrow. So, I've just got some little stuff like that. But, there's other focus right now than, hey, let's talk about this, talk about that. I still want it to be entertaining for everyone. But, I got to work from home too. So that's what kind of my focus is. And as you said, it's great time for the family and, spending time with the family. And I'm not going to be the doom and gloom guy. I'm not going to put out those kind of videos. I personally just don't, I don't like watching them. So I don't put them out. That's just my opinion. And, it is what it is. But,
I got one of those gas pedals coming in for the SIG.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I bought it. I tried to, somehow use my charms on them, which did not work. What a surprise. Yeah. And so I bought it. But here's a hint. If you are looking for one of those, don't buy it from their website directly. Go to their eBay site. It's I got it for $55. Free shipping. Cool. So I saved like $10, $12 or something like that.
Yeah. Right.
So I would go with that. But I can't wait to see how that works. And hopefully the holster I have will be able to use it with it because it's saying that you can use it for most holsters. So
yeah, some will and some won't, depending on how big it sticks out. But I'm a gas pedal fan. If it helps you and helps you keep it down, hell, use it.
Yep.
Hell, I got people beating me up all the time, like, why do you run a comp? And it's like, dude, if I could shoot you in the face or shoot you in the eyeball really fast, which would I rather have? So I just think it's I just think it comes down to personal preference. If you don't want one or you don't like one, hey, that's up to you. But if you want to try it and you like it, what's wrong with it?
Exactly.
Yes, guy comment. It's Big John, or it's a BJGG10 for lock grips. So, and I've got videos on it. But just supporting, small business and stuff like that. Any way that we can. You don't have to run to Walmart for everything. If there's a small shop open, try to give them some business, man.
And more than likely, you're going to find what you need at those small shops because people.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't. Exactly, a lot of people don't go there. Yep. So get what you can get.
That's right.
But I just want to tell everyone, please be safe. Please keep your distance. We want this stuff to be over with so we can get back at the grind and have a good time. And stay safe and subscribe to everyone if you haven't already. And please thank a truck driver for what they're doing. If you happen to see one, even a nice wave could make their day. Yeah. UPS guys, postal guys, they're still bringing the mail. They're still bringing your goodies and making it all happen, man. If the truck driver shut down, holy crap, we wouldn't have Jack.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys. Nice, people, be nice.
And apparently Monk is saying everybody should smoke weed every day. Thank you, sir.
Okay, man.
Whatever floats your boat, man.
We'll say if that works for you, hey, get your prescription, have a good time. But just don't operate your gun while you're doing that.
That's right. So, weed and guns don't mix.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I appreciate everyone. Y'all have a great night. Be safe and carry on always.
We'll see you soon, guys.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Y'all be good.